Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Once again, welcome to Noble Family Research Center. NOFREC Basic School Manager Tutorial 5 on how to use the remarks workbook, the assessment workbook, and the report workbook. Major concentration will be on the assessment workbook. As said earlier on, all other workbooks are being controlled by the use of the master workbook. The number of subjects done by each class has been entered in the subject table of the list lookup worksheet of the master workbook. In this case, we entered that of KG, crèche and nursery. We indicated the subjects that are done by the class. They do numeracy, they do literacy, they do creative arts, and all, making 4 subjects. The 4 here will be used as for average on the assessment worksheet. Let's go back and start with the assessment. We will start with the assessment first. Then equally, we must open our class report whenever we are working on any of the class worksheets or workbook. We must open the class report for easy transfer of information. So we are opening our class assessment workbook. That's NOFREC Basic Assessment Manager crèche. It's for crèche. The term is first term and the year is 2021. We have the assessment sheet. Then we have the class assessment sheet, which contains the name of the student and the ID. The total marks will be added here. Then the average will appear here. Then the position in class will also appear here. Promoted to and repeated will be selected after the end of the term. When we are done with it, and then we select whether the student is being promoted or repeated. We indicate. When we do that, it will reflect on the student's report of the class reports workbook. It contains the school name, the class, the term, and the year. And the subjects are also indicated in the table. Okay. Then we have class work or assignment. That's the score. The class work or assignment out of what? Exam score out of what? Then the system automatically converts the class score to 50% and that of exam score to 50%. Then these two, 50%, the 50% of the class score and the 50% of the exam score will be added together to form the total. Then a rank, that's the position in the class, will be indicated. This information will then be transferred onto the student's report. Let's open this class report workbook. Okay. So as and when entries are made, the student report will be filled with all the necessary aspects as indicated in the class assessment worksheet. Let's start with it. As said earlier on, before we work on any form, we must have the class list with us. So still we are going to use the 5 students we have been using. N215, the name and the class will come. Then the subject is done by the class. Numeracy we select here, yes, by the subject. This subject is done. Numeracy is done by the class. And we are saying that the class score include class exercise and assignments. It also includes class tests and also include project work or homework. So any of these, the class test, the homework, the exercise, whatever score the person had in any of them should be quoted here. So we are going to use only one exercise for the demonstration in all the 4 subjects that are done by the crèche class. We will use only one exercise, but this is showing that any exercise, any class test, any homework, any project were given to the students, the marks should be entered anytime the students undergo or undertake such work. The marks assigned to each student should be entered against the student name per the subject in question. So this is numeracy, and the student name 215, the student code 215, he had 8 out of 10. That's the first exercise they did, and that's what he scored. And I said earlier on, before we issue the save command of any form, we have to ensure that the next worksheet, which will be there, which will have the information, must have the A4 of that worksheet being active. So the A4 of the worksheet, that's assessment worksheet of the crèche, is active. Now we can issue our save command. The exam score will be filled when we are dealing with the end of term exam scores. But these are individual class exercises, the class test, the homework or project were given to the students to do, and the score is 8 and it's supposed to be 10. So we save. We saved. Then we take another student, N2 and 4. I said the name and everything has also appeared. The person had 10 over 10. She scored all. We save. Then we had another student, N213, and he had 9 out of 10, and we save. Then another student, N212, he had 8 over 10, 8, 10, and we save. Then we take another student, another subject. Let's select another subject here. He said we are going to use only one exercise for the demonstration. So we move on to the next one, N215 again, and he had 10 out of 10 in English, and we save. The next one, N214, he had 7 of 10. We save. Then we have N213, and the person had 8 of 10. We save. Then we have N212, and he had 6 of 10. We save. And the last one, N211, she had 7 of 10. It's also saved. Then we move on, we take another subject. We say we are going to use only one exercise per the class. They do creative arts in 2 and 5. We had 9 of 10. Then we have in 2 and 4. She had 8 of 10. We have another one in 2 and 3. And the person had 7 of 10. Then we have in 2 and 2, and he had 9 of 10. We have the last student in the class in the our demonstration in 2 and 1, and she had 10 of 10. Then we move on to another subject. We select. Then student 2 and 5. He had 8 of 10. And the student in 2 and 4 had 6 of 10. We go. Understand, in 2 and 3 he had 8 of 10. We go. Another student in 2 and 2 had 9 of 10. In 2 and 1, in 2 and 1 had 8 of 10. So when we go to the class, the assessment sheet, individual student name has appeared. The subjects are here. Their score, class score are here. And because you've not entered any exam score, there's nothing in front of their name. The exam score. Then the term and the year has also been indicated. Okay. So when any entries are done with the form, the information will automatically move to the assessment worksheet as demonstrated here. And this information will be displayed under the various subjects done by the class. Okay, so this is what we had. We have a total of 8 is here, so the number of entries that will be made will sum up here. Then all the out of also sum up here. All the after number of times we do the entries, the score, the class score that the student had will be sum up here. Then the total score that the person is supposed to, the expected score will also sum up here. So you have out of. So when we kept on doing some entries, maybe in the next exercise the person score 10 over 10, that will be 18 here and 20 will be here. That's how it will be, but because of time factor we are just using one example. And the rest of the subjects, they also have the same information as done, as explained in the first one. Okay. Then the average per the score has also appeared with the total score being indicated here. The total score for the class or the class work has been indicated here. Then we have the average mark here, then we have the position against the names here. Let's go back and work on the exams score. Maybe by the end of the first term examination, this student in 215 in OWOP, he had 92 out of, that's not the place. Don't forget, have to go to the exam score and do it. 92 out of 100 for OWOP. You save. Then we take another student N214. The person had 87 out of 100. Save. N213. In the OWOP exams, he had 89 out of 100. Save. N212. And he had he had 93 out of 100. You see, we have N211, and the person scored 91 out of 100. Save. Take another subject. Say creative arts. N215 had 89 of 100. 89 100. Always make sure the entries are done in the proper place. Then 90 of another student, 90 of 100 for which student in 214. Then we save. We have in 213, and the person scored 90 out of 100. We have in 212 scored 86 of 100. Save. Then we select another subject as literacy. In 215, he had 90 of 100. In 214, had 85 of 100. In 213, had 79 of 100. In 212, had 75 of 100. See, in 211 had 83 of 100. Save. We move on to the last subject in the class, that's numeracy. N215 had 82. Straighten. You can enter here. Go down here and enter your 8200. Save. N214 had 7800. See, N213 had 8500. Save. N212 had 80 out of 100. Save. N211 had 79 of 100. And save. Okay. Now the exam score has also been computed, leaving the class score, because it did not enter the exam score and the class score at the same time. Equally, we may wait till the end of the term, then we fill that of the class score, the total score in the class of 100, then that of the exams too. You can do that. But preferably, each class exercise, class test, assignment, whatever, the score should be entered separately for each student. Preferably, that's what is supposed to be done. But if it's not done this way, by the end of the term, we have to sum up all the score. Then we also sum up all the totals. Then we enter the class, the exam score, and its total. Then we save. When done, we shall have the class score, the out of the class score. Then we have the exam score and out of the exam score at the same time. But if they are done separately, we shall have the table will be looking like this. Okay. Don't forget to raise the pointer at A4 to make it always active. Let's visit our class assessment workbook and see a worksheet. Yes. Now, which is this? We did not enter anything for the students in the class score. Then let's go back and do it. Numeracy. N211, and it is, she scored N211, she scored 6 of 10. Okay, yes, it has appeared, and the class, the whole of the total score has been indicated here. This value, the total class score, has been converted over 50 here. Then the total exam score has also been converted over 50 here and added up here. Then the rank has been indicated. So in mathematics and numeracy, Shumasi Comfort was first, then followed by Mohammed Harun in that order as indicated. Then move on to another subject, the same. So that is it. Who is this person? Creative at the same last student. Exam score was not entered. Okay, we shall do that. Creative arts, go back and do it. Creative arts, see, and it is N211. These are some of the petty mistakes that can be done. So after entries, you have to go visit the table and be comparing to see whether the entries have appeared or not. Then creative arts, she had 10. That's exam score. Creative arts is 9200. Okay, creative arts 9200. Creative arts. When we're dealing with the creative arts, let's check to see if no entries was done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, true. One person was out. Didn't enter. We have There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, we have to check to see if the entries have actually been entered. Okay, then we enter like this. It goes. So this time, let's see. Yes, it has appeared and everything has been computed. That's all. So we have our completed assessment, class assessment worksheet. It has this total marks. Then it also contains the average score, then the position in class. This side contains the total score and as class assessment out of contains the total score as exams score out of, then convert them into 50%, add the 50% of the class score to the exam score and sum them up as total, then indicate the rank in all the subjects. Now we move on to the class report to see what happens. We have the student information. The position in class has appeared here, the position in class here. Then we have the average grade, which says high proficiency. High proficiency gives the remarks. Yes, as soon as the assessment workbook is being filled, the remark and everything will also come. So the table was empty. Now it contains some values. All that were computed on the class assessment worksheet have moved automatically onto the report of each student. So now the average is here. Then the class master's remark has appeared automatically. He said that the person has high level of proficiency. Then the headmaster says he can feasibly perform authentic task. Now we learned how the Bell workbook relates or transpose information onto the report. We also learned how the entries into the fee payment workbook also migrates onto the reports. Now it's left with the remarks. Each student must have his or her own remarks. So we shall be working on the remarks workbook, and when that is done, the information on the remarks workbook will move against and be on the student's report. Move on to another student here, the person of Chumasi Comfort. She was 5th in the class out of, we use 5, but you see the number of row appearing on all the reports, the term, the date of closing, next term resumes, and everything appear on the report. So the only thing that will be done physically is when it's printed out, the headmaster must sign and stamp. That's all. The date of closing has also appeared at the end of each report. Okay, so let's visit our remarks, the master workbook, and open the remarks workbook. Remarks of the class. Then we have to select the conduct. Say that he's satisfactory, we are satisfied with his attitude, his conduct. Then we said that he's serious in class, and we said he likes group learning. We select another person. She's fair and she's calm in class, and she likes maybe personal studies. We take another student, say that she's good, yeah. Then he is reliable, and we say he likes sports. Then we have another student, is also satisfactory, and he is friendly and he likes reading. We take the last student in our consideration. She is good and she is very attentive in class, and she likes artwork. Okay, so when these selections are done, they will automatically migrate to the various to the student reports. So we have conduct of Sally means satisfactory, his attitude serious in class, then his hobby group learning. Then another student who has selected on the class remarks workbook, the information is displayed on each report. This brings us to the end of our tutorial 5. Now our report is ready to be printed out. It has information. We have gotten all the information, the attendance. Then if it's promotional exams, we select promotion on the assessment sheet or repeated at, and that one to also be reflected on the reports. The assessment table have been filled, the payments table filled, the remarks indicated, then the bills also appeared. Then we have our grading system here. This is the grading system and the marks. Then the remarks given at the end of the score. The only thing that should be done by the headmaster is when the form is printed out, you should sign. No physical work is done on this table. No entry deleting here. We don't delete in this table. Everything is coded. The reports, nothing is physically done in the report work book. Equally, that of the remarks workbook, with the exception of selections, we don't do anything. Everything will automatically appear. Then we also have to ensure that yes, we have rested it at the 4, and that is it. This brings us to the end of our tutorial 5 on how to use the assessment workbook, remarks workbook, and the people's report workbook. Don't forget to contact us for your copies at saliaotman@gmail.com, 054 968 5090, 024 450 4294, or box 54, Brikum, Bono region. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. See you in tutorial 6. Okay, bye bye.